What's up, guys? Mr. Martin here. We're going to be talking about our grammar rule for September 2nd. This one is, I'd say it's pretty simple because all it is a matter of word placement. And what are we talking about here? It's an appositive. And an appositive is a noun or pronoun placed beside another noun or pronoun to identify or describe it. So just to kind of get on with it, we're going to just go read right through this example. The sculptor Isamu Noguchi has designed sculpture gardens. So the appositive in this sentence is Isamu Noguchi, and it identifies the sculptor. So how can we identify an appositive? Well, here's a little trick here. Let's read the sentence again. The sculptor Isamu Noguchi has designed sculpture gardens. Remove Isamu Noguchi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And you have the sculptor has designed sculpture gardens. So what this essentially does is this is an appositive, and what an appositive does is gives more context to another noun, which is the sculptor. However, you do not necessarily need the appositive in the sentence all the time. They can actually be removed. So let's move on to the more advanced form of an appositive, which is an appositive phrase. So an appositive phrase consists of an appositive and any modifiers it has. Lucy, my longtime friend from school, has a new dog. So this right here, this appositive phrase is actually not necessary to understand the meaning of the sentence. You could literally just say, Lucy has a new dog. However, adding my longtime friend from school gives more context and meaning to who Lucy is. Because if I said Lucy has a new dog, Lucy could be anyone. Lucy could mean absolutely nothing to me, or Lucy could be my wife, could be my friend, it could be my daughter. So that's why appositives can be important to sentences. And, just because you can remove them doesn't mean they're not vital. So, this is where we get into a little bit of the tricky territory, because appositives are usually headed off by the phrases, especially the phrases in particular, are headed off by these little commas that kind of it's sort of like acts as like a little like separator from the entire sentence, if you want to think of it like that in just really simple, non-fancy terms. So appositives and appositive phrases that are not essential to the meaning of the sentence are set off by commas. So, however, if it is essential to the meaning, it is generally not set off by commas. This is a pretty good example. My teacher, Mr. Bird, trains parrots. Versus, my teacher, Mr. Bird, trains parrots with no commas. Essentially, what the difference here is this sentence implies that the writer has only one teacher. However, in this sentence, it implies that the writer has more than one teacher, so it's essential. You could just omit Mr. Bird from this sentence and says, my teacher trains parents, because if you only have one teacher, the teacher has to be Mr. Bird. However, this one does not need commas around it because this is essential to actually understanding the sentence, because my teacher, Mr. Bird, trains parents, because if you had more than one teacher, you need to specify which teacher it is. So essentially, kind of just to go back over, recap, all an appositive is just basically it's a noun or pronoun, or if you don't want to use fancy schmancy literature terms, or grammar terms, I mean, an appositive is essentially just something that helps further describe an object. It's kind of like that. Or it gives an object a better way to describe it is it gives an object a name. So the sculptor has a name, and it's Isamu Noguchi. Lucy has a sort of a title, which is my longtime friend from school. So think of like an appositive, almost like a title or name you could give someone or something. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and you guys all stay safe.